right? Shalom. This is the brother Ra'aya,
the brother Amawad
of the GMS New Orleans camp, coming at you with another lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end, and to the few sincere Akwat out there diligently learning in silence. Shalom.
Shalom.
And with this lesson, we're just going to be going into current events. I'm sure a lot of you sincere Akim and Akwat out there are aware of that situation that happened recently in Chicago with WFI, Watchmen of Israel, where they had that Palestinian, protest going on, and then you had them show up, and it just became a whole, confusion out there. They got in a fight with those Ishmaelite Arabs. They were saying Kwam Yasharala in the background, and now that's become another, issue out here with people reposting it on Twitter or whatever, talking about the black Hebrew Israelites getting involved in clashes and stuff. Hey, this is just another, another instance that's going to be brought against us when this persecution comes against us, along with that kosher deli situation that happened back in 2019. The thing with, I think, what was it, HOI at Washington. Just the list goes on and on. Kyrie Irving, Kanye West. We can clearly see that this persecution and this accusation from the powers that be, the Edomites, are coming against us. But hey, you Jakes, a lot of y'all, whether, you're agents, which a lot of y'all are, or it was just sincere, I'm going to just say sincere ignorance. We're not supposed to be acting like, just barbarians out there. There's a code and a conduct to things. We're supposed to be rolling in the spirit and not rolling in the flesh. As a lot of brothers have been saying, look, you show up to a spot and say a protest just happens to come around the spot, what would be the most prudent thing to do? Just leave and go to a different position, because nothing is going to get through, because these people are highly in their emotions. We're talking about a situation going over there where men, women, and children are getting bombed and put to death, and Jake is just out there saying, oh, Allah isn't helping anybody, which that's kind of funny, but Jake out there just in being carnal, really just to get views and attention, because as a lot of brothers have been saying, for the majority of you Jakes out there, to you sincere brothers out there, a lot of people out there that subscribe to your videos just watch it for entertainment, and Jakes that aren't rolling in the spirit know that. So they go out there, they get the Edomite to kiss their boot, they talk shit, say, oh, I'm gonna step on somebody, whoopty-whoopty-woo, just for the likes, which this is not the time, and it never was the time to be doing that. We weren't sent out to, just be a carnal, militant group out there. We were sent out to simply preach the scriptures of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai. And when, that wind kicking. And when you understand that, you know that you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You don't have to worry about somebody. Even if somebody pulls a gun or a knife on you, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, as it says in Psalms 34 verse 7, has his angels encamped around us, so they can't do anything to us unless the Most High, sanctions it. Point you on to me? Kind. Hey, but we're going to get into the scriptures that, hey, these times would come to where there would be, Jakes out here, whether set up by Esau or set up by Satan to do what? Have the ministry be blamed.
You want to start with the Corinthians?
We'll start in that Matthew 10 and then jump to Corinthians.
This is the gospel according to St. Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
And that's in red letters, so it's Yahushai speaking. And what's Yahushai saying? Behold, I send you in the midst of wolves. Hey, we're in the valley of the shadow of death, the belly of the beast, where not just carnal people are trying to get us caught up, but the spiritual demon Satan is trying to get us caught up. We are preaching the downfall of this society. So all eyes, more than you think, are watching us and are looking for any little thing to get us caught up. So with that being the case, hey, we need to be harmless as sheep, but wise as serpents. Coming as Yahushai came. You didn't hear about Yahushai, just going and inciting riots, for likes or views or anything like that. Now, of course, we know in the history that, incidences did take place, but that wasn't the energy Yahushua and the disciples were coming in. They were simply coming to preach the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua.
Yeah, when Jake tried to anoint Yahushua at that time, he disappeared. He wasn't chasing views. He wasn't chasing validation. He wouldn't be down with this social media, this circus that we have today. He was all about taking the low, because the scriptures clearly tell you that he that abaseth himself shall be exalted. So if you out here trying to prove that you're the most militant Jake, you a black militant Israelite, a black identity extremist, you're bugged out, man. It has absolutely nothing to do with the ministry. The scripture says, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. And the elder says this all the time. There's no such thing as a gangster sheep. You've never in your life seen a hardcore sheep that just don't take nothing from nobody, man. A sheep is a docile, calm animal that's harmless. It says, be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. We know at the end of the day, the elect is going to get the victory. We know at the end of the day, all these people are going to be beneath our feet. So we have nothing to prove on this side. Jake is still in that spirit of the world, trying to prove that he's a man, trying to prove that my hood's tougher than your hood, I'm harder than you. All this gangster, just bullshit, man. It has nothing to do with the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and his ministry. You got it right?
Hey, just to back you up, Yahushai, when the people were coming against him, what did he do? He translated himself out there. Yeah. Yahushai was always, trying to find a way to get out of those situations. And hey, we're supposed to be coming in the same step, being wise as serpents. When we see a situation, like say, again, a protest may form around your camp spot, or even another bug out group tries to come in your camp spot, instead of going up there and, starting something, hey, Babylon's a big place. For one weekend, you can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
Just real quick, this is Proverbs chapter 10, verse 29. It says, the way of Yahweh is strength to the upright, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. Right, so the way of strength is the way of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But our people that don't really have faith, they don't look at strength in the ministry. They don't look at this truth as being strong. They look at the truth as, oh, they're just preaching the Bible. They're not going to do nothing. They look at their gun as being their strength, man. They look to their bow and arrow as their strength instead of the faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which the scriptures is the exact opposite. Even the men of war in the ancient world, they were guided by faith. Okay, King David himself, he didn't put trust in his shield. He didn't put trust in his buckler. His trust was in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Where do you see outside of Great Millstone and like-minded brothers, you don't see that type of faith in these last days?
And that's the type of faith we're going to have to truly, believe in coming into Jacob's trouble, because we see just how much more diabolical things are getting. And there's too much shit to worry about. Oh, water filtration, preps, combat skill, all that stuff, which a carnal-minded man would think about. But when you got Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai dealing with you, you don't need to think about that, because what does it say? My servants shall eat and drink, and what the wicked store up riches, for the righteous, roughly paraphrasing. Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is going to have everything perfectly covered when things are really dire. So how much more now when things are still light? These people that are coming up are nobodies. I've told brothers this before. People come up to you and they may cut you off in traffic or just act like an asshole. But you got to think, this person, I've never met this person in my life at this point, and I'm never going to meet him again. So what is that? It's simply a demon. Not just a demon, but a test to see how you're going to react under pressure. If Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai can deal with you in that time. Now's not the time to be, being on a short fuse or on a hair trigger, just, trying to get that lick back, so to speak. Or just being confident in yourself. As the brother was saying, a lot of jakes are just in that carnal, I got to still prove I'm a man spirit. But what does it say in Ecclesiastes chapter 12? This is the whole duty of man.
Keep his commandments.
Keep the commandments.
And fear the Most High.
And if you're doing that, what should that mean? You're a man. Not just a man, but a man of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Hey, but regardless, we're going to continue to see incidents like this take place, whether it's just Jake, being carnal out here, but in a lot of instances, Jake being agents set up to just have the ministry blamed.
Want that Corinthians? This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 3. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed.
Point blank, period. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. And just with this incident here, the ministry is being blamed, because when they say black Hebrew Israelites, for one, they call us the black Hebrew Israelites, and the average retard out here can't differentiate one camp from another. So they just encompass that all as, oh, they all like that. They're all a bunch of, niggas that are angry, that just go out and start violence. And then it doesn't help when you got the combat boots on, you dress in all black, you come out with vests and guns, all that shit. And, you got it.
Right, like every once in a while, like maybe 3-4 times a year, IUIC, they go out and teach down here in some kind of elaborate marching, or whether it's Essence Fest or some type of big spectacle. And then like a week later, some Jake will come up to us, hey, y'all with those purple guys?
That's what they always ask.
Yeah. So like the brother was saying, in the minds of these people that don't know anything, they think we're all the camps are together. We're all we all believe the same thing. We're all Hebrew Israelites. No, the Israelites are a race of people. All right, there are different camps that teach different things. Some of them are still teaching Jesus Christ. Some of them are teaching that there's hell under the ground, and you die, your spirit, some of them believe in that, man. We're not joined with these niggas, man. We have nothing in common with them other than we all descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that's it. But to these people that are getting the ministry blamed, their footage is going to be used to persecute all of us. That's why all of you jakes that have a problem with Great Millstone, you try to separate yourself from us because, oh, those guys over there, they hate black women, not us. Oh, those guys over there, they teach rape, not us. At the end of the day, you trying to persecute us is going to come back on you, because to this world, we're all Israelites. You can try to water down the Bible. Oh, they hate white people, but we believe it. All of that's a waste of time. All right, the scriptures say what they say. So when you try to distance yourself when the persecution comes, it's just going to backfire. All they see is Hebrew Israelites. They don't see, oh, this is GMS, oh, that's GOCC, oh, that's ISUPK. They just see, oh, those are those guys that be on the street corner, those crazy guys reading the Bible. That's how these people think. Yeah. So,
oh no, you got it.
Yeah. So knowing that, you should have some type of responsibility. Like, man, I'm representing my nation. I'm representing Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. I'm representing my heritage, and I'm representing this ministry. You're supposed to conduct yourself as such. Jake is so used to being a renegade. Black culture pushes this hyper individualism where you care about yourself and yourself only. Can't no nigga tell me nothing. We're a nation, man. We're supposed to move as a unit. And you're supposed to consider your brother, but our people, they will not consider. You got it. And
just to back you up, Esau's going to be rolling on everybody, whether they, took the bag or watered down the doctrine, because you have to understand, Esau wants that birthright back, and that consists of getting rid of as many Israelites as they can. And if you know you're Israelite, but you're off in the doctrine, you still know you're an Israelite. Yeah. So that's a major threat there. So Esau's coming down with the hammer on all of us, and a lot of you jakes are just giving him that much more ammunition to do so. What was it saying, Isaiah chapter 29? Your covenant with death will be disannulled. And if you aren't preaching the true doctrine, that's a covenant with death. You're watering it down to be accepted by this world, which, if the love of the world is in you, then the love of the Heavenly Father is not in you. And it says that flood, that destruction is going to come with those that made that covenant with death.
And a lot of these guys have literally made a covenant. They have a 501c3 charter, all right, mainly IUIC, ISUPK. Then you have these guys that have sold out. All right, they're working with the Rosicrucians. They have like clandestine agendas. All right, these people have literally made a covenant with death instead of a vow to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And it's going to backfire horribly. This is, real quick, this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 70. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
On those that fear the Lord. And who fears the Lord? You Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We know first and foremost that's talking about the nation of Israel. But hey, Esau's rolling on all you jakes.
Yeah, it didn't say there's going to be a great insurrection on GMS. There's going to be a great insurrection on those guys that do videos all the time. But Esau's going to take it easy on the guys that just hide behind the camera, the guys that are on the comment board. No, it's going to, as it tells you in Revelation 12:12, this man is going to come down with great wrath because, like the brother said, he knows he has a short time. He knows this is it. Esau knows that this is it. He knows he's Edom. He knows Babylon is America. He knows he's about to go into slavery, starting with the elites. So you being in the spirit of trying to water down the Bible or doing publicity stunts to get views, do you not know that YouTube is going to be shut off? There's going to be a point where you go on the internet, all you're going to see is videos of cats and false information. You're not going to see the truth on YouTube at all. So you trying to chase vainglory is just that. It's vain. It's vanity.
And to further back that up, what was it saying in Ezekiel 21? The sword is furbished for my people.
Yeah.
It's not saying my people that are teaching the correct doctrine and those that are teaching the wrong doctrine. It's saying my people as a whole.
Yeah.
And then was it also saying Isaiah 30, those that put their trust in the shadow of Egypt, which whether you a nigga in the world that doesn't acknowledge he's an Israelite who just wants to live in Babylon, or you an Israelite that's taken that bag or tried to, water down the doctrine to be accepted by the masses, you're still going under the shadow of Egypt, the shadow of Pharaoh, and says that's going to be under your shame, under your destruction. So that net that Esau's going to cast is going to come over all Israelites, especially those, that know they're Israelites. So again, right now it is imperative to do, be harmless as doves and wise as serpents and walk as those sheep in the midst of wolves, so the ministry be not blamed. Because we know, again, he's going to take the worst clips, splice things, and with this AI, you could just create a whole deep fake video of brothers, doing things and saying things they never did or said. But with that being the case, right now, don't give him any more ammunition to do so. People come up and, I've seen this before. You've had incidents like, say what happened in that kosher deli back in 2019 happened. And then you had a lot of people actually comment that say, I don't believe in what the Israelites say, but, I've seen them on the block and talked to them, and they're not like that. They're not violent like that. Why? Because the brothers that they came across, more than likely was GMS brothers, dealt with them cordially, answered their questions with the scriptures, and if things got heated, they got heated, but no hands were laid, no guns or swords were pulled out or anything like that. It was handled in a cordial manner.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point, because, throughout the years, we've had police come up, different professors come up. We deal with them cordially. We don't say, oh, you fucking cracker, get out. We're gonna, all this extra shit, man, trying to get views, trying to make the ministry entertaining. Like the brother said, they're actual heathen, and even 2/3 that see us, they see our conversation and they know, okay, these guys are peaceable men, they're reasonable men, they're non-violent. But when you make it an intentional display of being militant and being ignorant, well, what impression is that going to leave? When it comes time for us to get persecuted, when, like the brother said, they're going to have AI, they're going to have brothers saying things that we never really said. You're so crazy, you niggas in these other camps, you're so crazy that when Esau tries to frame us, they're going to be doing things that are similar to things that you've actually done. So you're not going to have a defense in that day.
They're going to, it's like you done.
Yeah, if you're on camera saying some wild, crazy shit, and then Esau edits footage of you saying something that you didn't say, where's your defense? You're always saying crazy shit.
You're like ISUPK that went on Vice,
yeah,
a well-known, news network, on a segment called Hate Thy Neighbor, where you're going at the gun range, shooting those guns, or even HOI with the pull-up boys, which I think, to give credit where credit's due, I think Zabak, got on them about that. But they went to the gun range and was like, hey, hashtag we're the pull-up boys. Hey, you got to get your spiritual blessing right, but we got to tap into Esau's carnal blessing too. That has nothing to do with it.
That's nowhere in the Bible. Yeah. Where in the Bible does it say Jacob needs to tap into Esau's blessing? What? Do you not know Esau's going to be judged for his blessing? He was given a sword to take peace from the earth, and he's going to be judged for taking peace from the earth. But you want to tap into, that means you want to tap into his judgment. Tapping into Esau's blessing means tapping into his judgment too. You're going to die here, man. Those that live by the sword are going to die by it.
And another example that the brother Amawang Gabar, the New York camp, brought up was that with this situation that happened in Chicago, Chief Ephraim sent out a message saying, I want all Israelite camps this Saturday to get together and go to those Palestinian protests, clap back at them for them going against those WIF Israelites. No discernment, no caution, no wisdom in that at all.
That's why it's so important for our nation to have elders that actually care about the doctrine, that care about our people. You don't care about Israelites if you trying to incite some type of a war, a carnal battle here in Babylon the Great, man. That's not in the Bible. That's not in the scripture. That's not part of our ministry. That's you trying to be somebody in Babylon.
What did Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshai say? Hey, wait on me, for I will arise up, to the prey. It's Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai that's going to be our defender and our offense in coming against these heathens.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get the glory afterwards when Yahweh Shai gets his glory. But a lot of Jakes are megalomaniacs out here, and they want to take the place of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, why would you want your glory in this kingdom? That means you clearly don't believe in the world to come. All right, we're going to be, aware of that number. We want to be the men that stood stiffly for the name Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, not the men that stood stiffly for our own name, our own ego, our own pride. That has no value here.
Could you give me a Jude 1 verse 4? Because all throughout the scriptures it gives examples of what, evil men, false brethren crept in unawares to, spy out our liberty, which we're going to get, but just to blame the ministry. And whether they were set up by the spiritual demon Satan to do so, or whether they were set up by Esau as an agent to do so, which we're seeing everything coming at all angles now. Just Jake's completely bugged out being demons, and then what, the army of heaven, or whatever that northern tribes looking Jake was, that was showing how to shoot an AR-15 and had his logo looked like the logo for the Muslim Brotherhood. Just complete COINTELPRO looking shit out there.
Yeah. Esau's getting sloppier and sloppier. All right, just the same way his false flags are getting worse, his agents are getting worse. It's super obvious, okay, that guy's an agent. It's not even subtle anymore, man.
And that just goes to show how crazy Esau's going to come, because again, in that Revelation 12 verse 12, he's going to come down in great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. I believe it was in a video I was watching by Elder Yashuan, but he said, just to back up what you said, Esau's going to get so sloppy that he's going to have Jake, rob a bank in a garment like this, with a ski mask on.
And fringes.
Yeah.
Fringes on the ski mask.
So it can just be like, look, I told you they were crazy. But the crazy thing is you got a lot of Jakes coming in that energy, coming out with guns and bulletproof vests, and again, showing up to a protest between heathens that has nothing to do with us, just to incite some excitement for views. And then you got, again, Chief Ephraim's wanting to get all Israelite camps to come and just to further stir the pot or kick the hornet's nest out there. For what? What is that for? Is that for edifying? I didn't see any edifying taking place in that video. I just saw fists getting thrown.
Yeah, where are the scriptures? How you going to bring out the scriptures in a protest / brawl / ball of confusion? The Most High is not the author of confusion, which means what? You guys are ministers of Satan. That's all you are. You're agents of chaos. If you're not agents of Esau and his government, you're agents of chaos, man. This ministry is about, the scripture says, I will put you in order in their sight. This is about bringing order to our nation, man. Something that's been completely lost since we got to Babylon. But this is Jude 1 verse 4. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation. Ungodly men, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness.
And that word lasciviousness goes into what? Sexual lust and just lust of the flesh, which is what we're seeing with a lot of these Jakes out here. It's still just hella carnal. The rap videos, just the combat boots, the soup kitchens, going and starting riots for views, getting the sisters in, all that bullshit, which doesn't matter right now. What matters is preaching the scriptures, and that's it. Prophesying, because that was it saying in Revelation 19, that's the spirit of Yahweh Shai, not going out there and just being a complete maniac out there.
Yeah, this is the best time to prophesy. We're living in the time of prophecy. We're on the cusp of World War III, which has already started. The awakening of Israel. All right, our people waking up to who we are. Esau being exposed. The mark of the beast. All of these things. The final prophecies of the Bible are hidden right now. We're living in the times of the final days, and the prophecies, they're jumping out the page. So if you're bored by prophecy, if you're tired, I'm tired of talking about the chip. You're bugged out, man.
What does that mean? You're looking back into the world.
Yeah.
Because if you're bored by seeing this system come to an end, then what doesn't bore you? Well, something to please your lasciviousness in the world.
Yeah, these niggas really, they're still in the world. All right, you have a lot of Israelites with fringes that are still in the world. They still love their job. They love their so-called family. They still want that Heath Huxtable spirit, all of that madness, man. The Carl Winslow good family man image. They want their life in this world to continue. They don't want Yahweh Shai to come back. And that's getting more and more obvious the closer we get to his second coming.
And we're not just talking about, Jakes in these other camps. It's Jakes in GMS as well. Recently that Jake down in Trinidad, he left the world to, buy a house for his mom. And now where's he at? In the spirit world. and his mom still don't have a house. And there's going to be more. We can clearly see these Jakes and these other camps are getting exposed and bugging out. But hey, another house cleaning, as the apostle elders always go into, is going to happen in GMS again. As we get closer and closer to the end, those men that crept in unawares, that spirit, that light is going to be shined on them, and you know, their true spirits are going to be shown.
Yeah, Yahushua said himself, he that seeketh to gain his life shall lose it. He didn't just say that for shits and giggles. He wasn't joking around, or you know, Yahushua, he just be no, man, that's deadly serious. If you seek to gain your life in this world, you're going to die. You are going to lose your life trying to be somebody in America, trying to make it happen.
We literally saw it recently with that Jake in Trinidad.
Yeah. And we've seen it in this camp.
Yeah.
Jake going back into the world and then going back into the spirit world. It happens.
Mm-hmm. Hey, from unglory to glory.
Yeah. But it says, who before of old ordained to this condemnation. Right? They were ordered from the foundation of the earth to be bug outs, to be reprobates, to be traitors, to be carnal men. The same way the 144,000 and the rest of the elect were ordained for salvation, you have men that were ordained for destruction. Which that's another part of the doctrine people don't like to go into. All right, predestination. It's only of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua's mercy that there's even a remnant to begin with. It tells you in Isaiah 1:9 that if he hadn't left a remnant, we'd all be as Sodom. And you can see it. You can see when you're out in the world, especially here in New Orleans, damn near 90% of Jakes that aren't in the truth, they're clearly homosexuals, man. It's getting worse than what you just. It's really bad, man.
Like it's really just getting to the point to where, you know, being straight is the minority while being a freak is the majority.
Yeah, these punks have a lascivious nature to them, and they're following Esau, their father, the so-called white man. So you're supposed to be holy, all right? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua called us into this ministry to be holy, to be separate, not to join unto heathen protests. What do you gain by that? A bunch of heathen fighting over our land, and then you showing up. Like, first of all, the truth is the truth. All right, you don't have to force the truth on anyone. All you have to do is speak the truth. Go on our highways and hedges, the chief place of concourse, and boldly profess the truth. And the Lord is going to gather the elect. You don't have to we don't have to convince the heathen anything. Now, when they come up, we edify for the camera. So we'll debate. We'll go into the scriptures to bring out the scriptures. But we're not seriously trying to debate a heathen. Like, look, please believe that we're the Israelites. Look, go tell your neighbors. Who cares what a heathen thinks? They're about to go into slavery. These people are our property. You got it.
Who cares what these niggas think too?
God.
What's a dead man's opinion? Like we like to say down here, what is a dead man's opinion? The majority, to any, you know, if you're in a group of people watching this video right now, just look around you, and the majority of people around you are gonna die.
They're about to die.
You might be the only one out of people around you that's gonna make it. So what are these people's opinions? And just to back you up, we got nothing to prove to these people out here. Just this past Saturday at camp, some old nigga came up blowing cigarette smoke. And you know, you wanna enact some righteous judgment on him, but at the end of the day, when he was doing that, it's just like, I don't have to prove anything, because he said something, because I was at the end when he was blowing the smoke. He said something. I said, hey man, how you know? I was like, man, just don't do that. And he was saying something, oh, that's not the spirit of God. It's like, nigga, you didn't even say the Lord's name. And I looked at, he was an old man, so he had gray hair, but then I looked closely to the top of his head, and it looked like he was lightly dyed blonde like Cisco. So you a 60-year-old nigga with the top of your hair dyed blonde. How am I supposed to take you seriously? I was just thinking to myself, I've got nothing to prove to you. Like, you're beneath me.
Yeah, these people don't know Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And some of them never will. The heathen, they're never going to know the Lord, ever. And these 2/3, they're going to come back through our loins. They're going to come back as babies. So you wouldn't sit there and argue. If you saw a grown man arguing with a baby, you would instantly know, okay, something's wrong with the man. You wouldn't say something's wrong with the baby. Why are you a grown man arguing with a baby? That's all these people are. They're a bunch of niggas that are going to come back as toddlers in the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, but
they're not our peers. You got it.
Shit. I lost my train of thought, but just to back you up, yeah, when you see an adult arguing with a baby, or a grown man beating up a little kid, like, what were you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Like, you sick in the head? What are you doing?
Yeah, but Jake doesn't believe that we have that power, that we have that authority. We firmly believe that the 144,000 are going to reign. They're going to rule over the 12 tribes of Israel, and they're going to rule over the heathen. And we honestly believe that we have a strong possibility that we're part of that number. Abaratazah. So if you believe that, why would you argue arguing with a heathen is like arguing with cattle. The heathen are animals that can speak English. That's all they are. They don't have the law, statutes, and commandments. They're not men, according to, like the brother said earlier, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. They can't fear the Most High and keep His commandments, so they're not even men. Why are you arguing with a heathen? That's like, again, it's like arguing with an animal. You understand the truth. The animal doesn't have wisdom. So you arguing with the animal's not going off. You are. You know better. You should know better.
Mm-hmm. And hey, with the animal, an animal has a certain way to shepherd them.
Yeah.
You just hit them with that rod and get them to go in that direction.
Yeah.
And hey, being men of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, kind of tying it back to the front. We have as shepherds the way to guide everything, and it doesn't involve getting carnal or getting the ministry being blamed. It's simply following the shepherd's rule book. Preaching the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and keeping it at that. Staying spiritual, not arguing with heathens, not getting though arguments will come up. I'm saying arguments will come up, but not getting hot. Not flashing out and laying hands on them. Now, of course, if they lay hands on you first, that's self-defense. But just being in this, just being carnal out here, doing things for likes, or just not taking heed to the words in the scriptures.
And when you see Apostle Peter, when he jumped in that spirit, he got rebuked. Yahweh Shai rebuked him for wanting to fight and get it on,
cut that servant's ear off. He said, "Put back thy sword."
What's wrong with you? I have to go on the cross right now. Obviously he didn't want to see the Lord get crucified. So he was in his feelings, but we're not supposed to be in our feelings. He got rebuked for that. You're supposed to read the scriptures and learn from them. Not read the scriptures, okay, well, Peter had a sword, so we can go to camp with guns. Like, what are you doing, Jake?
And what? Yahweh Shai got persecuted, and he got on, back you up, he got on Peter for trying to upset prophecy and take matters into his own hands. The servant is not greater than his master, so we're going to go through persecution. Yeah. So what? We're not supposed to upset prophecy and tap into Esau's blessing and get our licks back. We got to fully rely on Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
And that goes right back to this Matthew. This back in Matthew 10 and 16. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves." Sheep, they're ready to be sacrificed, man. They don't buck up like goats. They don't squeal. They don't squirm. All right, we're actually led into Jacob's trouble, knowing, okay, this is it. All right, there are going to be some of us that shall not taste the death. There are going to be some of us that are beheaded for the glory in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Both of those things are in the scriptures. All right, so you have Apostle Paul who's telling you, look, some of y'all are going to be persecuted, some of you are going to be killed, but even those of you that are going to be killed are going to be in the chariots first. If you believe that, what type of victory are you going to try to get arguing with a heathen, arguing with the police? I know my rights. You can't do this to me. I got my Morris sovereignty papers. I know under Article 1734 that it's illegal for you to search me while I'm like, come on, man. Just give them your license, man.
Hey, when you're wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, what does it say in the scriptures? Agree with thine adversary quickly. And the Most High can put a spirit on that cop or whoever to just, what? You're speeding a little bit. Don't do it again.
Yeah. And
he might give you a lollipop or something and go about his merry way.
Yeah. But that's never going to happen when you start arguing. You see a big buck-ass nigga in the front seat squirming, reaching for this. I'm gonna show you my lights. And next thing you know, like that couple, they were on the video screaming Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and the cops
was about to say that.
Yeah, just bugged out, man. The Lord didn't give you his name for you to antagonize the heathen in their kingdom, and then you call on the Lord as a get out of jail free card. No, you're supposed to walk with wisdom towards them that are without.
What's the same Romans 13?
Yeah.
I don't want to paraphrase it.
Yeah, these. Oh, you got it.
Oh, you make your point.
Yeah, I was just gonna quote it.
Okay. This is Romans 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High.
That's plain, man. The powers that be. Now, when you read Daniel, the Lord set up kingdoms, and he prophesied which ones would go down, which ones would rise in their place. All of this was set up from the foundation of the earth. All right, it tells you in Hebrews that Yahweh Shai created the worlds. That word worlds is eon. He created each age. So you trying to upset prophecy or go against Esau in his own kingdom means you're going against Yahweh Shai. He created the age of the Edomites. I mean, he's Isaac. He gave Esau his blessing. So all you have to do is read the scriptures, believe in the scriptures, and hold fast to that which you have, and you're going to inherit eternal life. So why would you get out of your body and try to make some type of grand display?
Statement.
Statement.
Political statement out here.
Yeah, political statement, man. The Lord already made the statements, man. It's called the Holy Bible. All right, you got sentences, you got judgments. Everything you need is right here. You got it out.
Verse 2. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Yeah, Jake doesn't want to accept that. Jake doesn't want to accept that when you go against Esau, you're actually going up against the man that set Esau up. There's going to come a point very soon in these last days where the 144,000 are going to actually be physically fighting the heathen on earth. As it tells you in Acts 1 and 6, if this is my kingdom, then my servants will fight. So when it's time for Yahushua's kingdom, we are going to be fighting. But it's not that time. It's clearly Esau is still in the last leg of his kingdom. So you trying to upset prophecy is you actually going against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
And getting the ministry blamed. And being, not wise as a serpent or harmless as a dove. You're trying to take actions into your own hands, which again is what we see with a lot of these other camps. They firmly rooted in carnality.
Yeah.
They ain't talking about the kingdom. They ain't talking about the MOTB
at all.
They definitely got a 5-year or a 10-year plan.
Yeah, they want this place to continue, man. Let's just call it a buck. Especially these jakes that fall out of Great Millstone. They get tired of cussing out the white man. They go back into the world, and their doctrine never includes anything about Esau. Their doctrine is always about some random tit for tat, some technicality, some weird, strange, the new covenant this, or Macklemore, whatever.
That's the spirit. I was trying to remember that rapper's name this morning, talking to my coworker. I was like, that Edomite rap, what was his name? And that's funny.
The Lord's real name is Macklemore. Like, come on, man.
Grand Macklemore.
Yeah, Grand Macklemore. Just total madness. Okay, we're not talking about Esau anymore. That's all these other doctrines are really about. We're not getting on Daddy anymore. All right, let's let Daddy, listen, getting on Esau is really the only way we have of going at him. You can't go at this man with guns. You can't physically put him in chains yet. So getting at him is using this, the truth.
And look at how much it's cut him.
Yeah.
Esau's kingdom, without Jake, without the true, men of the Lord having to, take up arms by simply preaching these words, as it says in Matthew 24 verse 14, this gospel of the kingdom being preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. We're seeing this man's kingdom fall apart right before our eyes by simply speaking it into existence.
Just by reading the Bible, this man's kingdom is collapsing in front of us. That doesn't excite you? That doesn't, you don't find that suspicious? Like, all we need...
Suspicious?
Yeah.
You don't find that suspicious?
You don't find that suspicious? All we need to do is read the Bible and this man's kingdom crumbles. He built a whole kingdom off lies. So to take him down, all you need is the truth.
And how simple is that?
Yeah.
You build something off of lies by simply preaching the truth. That goes to show how weak your system is.
Yeah.
By simply preaching the truth, that takes your system down. All the nukes, all the military, the tanks, all that is brought down by a bunch of niggers. And I'm going to speak it like that. Niggers, spics, and tontos, and what people would call dresses, reading out of the Bible. That's the deadliest thing on the planet right now.
Yeah, you look at all this madness going on in the Middle East. Once you bring out the truth of who the real Jews are, that whole situation is like, wait a minute, what's this really about? All right, you got feminism. Once you bring out the truth between men and women, that whole philosophy crumbles. Everything this man established, his legal system, his medical system, everything he's established is built on lies. So all you have to do is preach the truth out of the scriptures. This is our weapon. This is our blessing. Jake has to believe that, though.
Hey, that Edomite George Orwell said, in a false society, the biggest act of revolution is telling the truth.
Telling the truth. And we're clearly living that. We're actually making our bodies a living sacrifice by telling the truth. Because outside of this truth, anytime Jake speaks up, they get killed. Or you got that Dr. Sabi guy, or anybody dealing with actual natural remedies, they mysteriously end up dead. Okay, but we can go into the herbs and go into the scriptures, and we're still here. The Lord actually has a hedge around us. All right, the angels encompass us, so we can go into these things. We can go into topics like World War III, geopolitics, and we don't come up missing. We're right on the block, man, every week.
Because the angels of the Lord encamp around those that fear Him.
God.
And what these other guys, even though they brought out good information like Dr. CB, it was all about what? Building up that black community. Yeah. We gotta build up civilization and do all that bullshit. No, that's not the time for that. The time now is to prophesy.
Yeah, the Lord's not
Simply as
dealing with the Lord's not dealing with black civilization. He's dealing with the 12 tribes of Israel, which includes so-called Latinos and Native Americans. Are you pro-black militant niggas? You, on the one hand, you believe in the 12 tribe sharp, and on the other hand, you're pro-black. That's totally off, man. The Lord, he's dealing with a speckled bird, all right? Our people come in different shades. The elect is going to be, when you read Revelation 7, the elect is going to come looking like every nation under heaven. There's some gooks that are really jakes. Who else? A lot. If it's 100 million gooks, at least, at minimum 10 million is Israelites, man. So for you niggas in that black power spirit, you're definitely not in the spirit of Yahushua gathering the elect from the four corners. And who's the only camp that talks about that? I've never heard another camp going into how Israelites are going to look like so-called white people, so-called Chinese people. They're really hung up on this pro-black, the image with that old poster with a nigga with the fro, and Eve's got the fro, and they're looking at each other's eyes, and that black love spirit. That's the Lord's not dealing with that, man.
And we can clearly see that's been there.
Yeah, that spirit
Jake
of black
and Eve
love
hate each other.
Yeah.
They going at it on social media.
Yeah, bro, you go on social media right now, it's nothing but lists. Stay away from this type of nigga. Niggas better not take me to this restaurant. Don't date with this. Don't date the American
number
black
one
woman.
on the list of women not to date. The American black woman.
Yeah, so if your hope is in black love, you're going to be sorely disappointed. All right, that ship sailed 30 years ago, man. That ship sailed with the fucking 70s, man. The Temptations. Nobody's trying to hear that shit, man. We're trying to get out of here so we can have a righteous kingdom in order.
God,
you want to be
about to start raining a little bit, so we can just close that back in that Matthew 10. You can read 17 to 22.
It's back in Matthew 17. It's like Matthew 10, verse 17.
Because as we brought out in that Jude, there were men crept in unawares. Men that are gonna, bring condemnation upon this ministry, and whether they're set up by Satan or set up by Esau, but ultimately to what? Get the ministry blamed. But we know these things must happen. But when you're rolling in the spirit, you're not worried about these things, because for one, in the prophecies, in the scriptures, it says it's going to happen, and then for two, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua is going to protect us through it. Like we were just saying, by not being carnal, not being a entertainment, being a showtime at the Apollo out here, picking up guns or swords or anything like that, by simply preaching the words, we're bringing down this man's kingdom. And Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua, as it's about to go into, says we don't even need to worry about what we need to say in the times to come. That's how protected Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua is going to have us. And as the elder brother Hawaii, up in the North Carolina camp said, what big faith. We're coming into the times of big faith. And when you see the prophecies come to pass and see that, look, by rolling in the spirit and, not rolling in the flesh, that we're just getting stronger spiritually while this world is decreasing, that just further increases that big faith. It makes your faith bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point. This world is getting weaker and weaker. Jake is finished. We just had a coven of witches circling this madness, like blue-haired feminists. They're finished. These women are finished. Female empowerment. Esau, Edomite empowerment. It's all finished. And meanwhile, Jake is getting stronger and stronger, man. The nation of Israel is stronger than it's ever been in Babylon the Great. Even carnally, Jake is just like, everywhere you go, you see Jake with a heathen woman, and his family's in order as long as he's not dealing with Eve. So you see Jake waxing stronger and stronger as we get closer to that transition of power. We're pulling this man's heel down, man. But this is back in Matthew. It says, and ye shall be brought,
verse 17.
Verse 17. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils.
Hey, but beware of men. Hey, those, we didn't get it, but in Galatians 2 and 4, those that were set out to spy out our liberty, to bring that blame against us. Whether, again, set up by Satan or set up by Esau. Esau coming against this ministry and doing anything he can to demonize it. And you Jakes out here, just being carnal and giving into the bullshit. And you're just further giving this man ammunition to get, the true men of the Lord hemmed up. And what does it say? We had it on the list too, that Luke 22 and 37. Us getting,
This is the gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 22, verse 37. For I say unto you that it is written must. Let me start over. Luke 22 and 37. This is in red letters. It says, for I say unto you that this that is written must yet be accomplished in me. And he was reckoned among the transgressors, for the things concerning me have an end.
Hey, he was reckoned amongst the transgressors. Hey, when the Pharisees and the Sadducees came against Yahushua, they came up with false counsels and set up men to get him caught in his words and make those false accusations. And what we know, he was labeled amongst the transgressors. They had him with Barabbas.
Yeah.
So when you have a guy next to a criminal, you would assume he's a criminal.
Yeah.
And then Yahushua got crucified, and he had the two malefactors on either side labeled amongst the transgressors. And again, the servant is not greater than his master. False accusations are going to come against us. A lot of it thanks to you jakes out there acting carnally and getting the ministry blamed. And we're going to be labeled as domestic teas, black identity extremists, enemies of the state, and hemmed up out there. But hey, Yahushua went through his hour of temptation and endured and is at the right hand of the Father. So what does that mean? If the servant is not greater than his master, and will go through the same. We're going to go through the persecution, but if we endure, we're going to get the glory as well, sitting at the right hand of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua.
Yeah, joint heirs. All right, we're going to go from joint sufferers to joint heirs with Yahushua.
That was it on that.
This is back in Matthew 10. This is verse 17. It says, "But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues.
Keep going.
And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles."
And who was Yahushua brought before? Pontius Pilate. A higher up in the Roman Empire. So again, the servant is not greater than his master. He was persecuted. We're going to be persecuted, and some brothers are going to be brought before, mayors, governors, senators, the president, even some of these elites, as a testimony against them. And it's about to go into that. We don't even need to worry about what we have to say to these heathens. So if that's the case, that Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai is going to put the Spirit on us to do exactly what we need to do, then what need do we have to, go riot, protest, or take up arms?
None. It says, "But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak."
To get that testimony against the Gentiles, the Most High could put the Spirit on you to be raw, just tell them their judgment like that. The Most High could give you the Spirit of Yahushua, to where they were asking questions, and what did he say? He just said, "You said it."
Yeah, thou sayest.
Thou sayest. Saying, hey, you said it, that's what it is. You got it.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 37. "Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away, and they come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One."
At point blank period, gathered from the east to the west by the word of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, not by the AR-15, not by the new Black Panther Party, not by marching or doing it and inciting riots, by simply hearing the words of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai and preaching the words of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai.
Yeah, this word is it's the antivirus, man. It's the antidote to the illness, all right, which is Esau. All right, the scripture says Yahushua, the physician, cut off a long disease. The so-called white man is the disease of the earth, and this is the cure right here. The Holy Scriptures from Genesis to Revelation. That's our healing. That's our comfort. We're not comforted by getting a bunch of views. We're not comforted by going viral. All that does is make all these simple-ass jakes in the world. They're basically making the block hot. When you blame the ministry, you're making the block hot for the actual prophets, man. Mm-hmm. We don't take kindly to that. Even in the world, the jakes who are actual criminals, they don't want to be seen next to rappers that are putting them on blast. Like, you drawing all this attention from the FBI to us. It's like, nigga, I'm not a rapper. I'm actually selling crack. Stay away from me. Like, nobody that's actually serious about what they're doing wants to get attention and pressure from the powers that be, man.
Hey, they being wise as serpents, harmless as doves.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can keep reading down.
This is back in Matthew chapter 10. It was on 19?
20.
20?
We'll the end of 19.
Okay.
Chilly out here, yes.
But back in Matthew 10, verse 19, it says, "But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you."
Hey, again, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai has every aspect of whatever our lot is going to be covered. My servants shall eat and drink. When you're brought before, the powers of this society, I'm even going to have what you're going to say, already predetermined. So again, there's no need to get carnal out here or try to get, your own licks back. Right now, it is simply to preach the word and prophesy. And by doing that, we're bringing this place down without even lifting a finger. You can, read down to 22.
And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death.
Verse 22, Baba Kasha.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved.
Point blank period. We're coming into persecution, and we're going to be hated of all men. But again, we're not supposed to be giving these people any ammunition to do so, to get the ministry be blamed. But regardless, the persecution is coming, and we are going to be hated of all men. But if we endure to the end, which, when you have big faith in believing in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, that persecution shall come. But what does it say at the end? That he that endured to the end shall be saved. You'll be of that elect number and receive that crown. The Abaratazah, this brother and myself are of that number. And you sincere brothers and sisters on the other side of the camera of that elect number as well. Any closing point you want to make? Hey, so with that, we hope your sincere Akim and Akwaf were edified by this lesson. And again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure to the end. Shalom.
Shalom.